Hello there everyone, it's King Sloth and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we're reacting to the CVN 78 super carrier crossing the Atlantic Ocean, and the actual ship is called the USS Gerald R. Ford, and it is known commonly as the biggest, let me just confirm this, the largest warship in the world. From what I've seen just for a couple of clips of this before I found this actual proper video, the tech involved in this is insane, and it makes sense because it's the Americans. They've got a lot of money to spend on this. But for those who don't know me, my name's King Sloth. I was in the British Army for just under 7 years before transferring across to the Royal Air Force, where I still currently serve. I do daily video logs, reaction videos 3 times a week. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're aiming for 10k now by the end of the year. Originally the goal was 7k, and we smashed that within what, 2 months. So let's get the next goal done. Make sure to leave a like, comment, get all them good vibes going. If you're not interested in me, you're interested in reaction, so let's get into it.
It's the largest warship in the world. On the high seas, it stands unrivaled. And for its very first...
So I still find it now amazing how jets land on these or even get sent off them. I find it crazy.
deployment, the aircraft carrier USS Gerald R. Ford headed from North America to Europe, making the transatlantic journey to train alongside NATO allies.
It's crazy. It's crazy. I find it even better that it doesn't ever go on its own. It goes with so many other ships around it for like extra protection. That's huge. Just look at it. It's massive.
The Gerald R. Ford is the first ship in a new class of U.S. Navy aircraft carriers.
Huge.
It's a nuclear-powered, technologically advanced floating airfield.
Wow.
With enough firepower to deter potential adversaries on site.
Nuclear powered.
After years of sea trials and shock tests, the Ford was finally ready to deploy alongside NATO allies in October 2022.
The Ukraine
The
flag
journey
there.
across the Atlantic begins in Halifax, Canada. From there, the Ford and its multinational carrier strike group will retrace the path blazed by Canadian and U.S. merchant ships during World War II.
Over 80 years ago, Canadians, Americans, and our allies.
They're almost doing a bit like Oregon Trail. They're doing like this historic journey which so many other people have done before them. I like the symbolic wise that the Americans are doing here.
Fought together across the Atlantic to secure the sea lines of communication. They endured heavy seas, they endured a relentless enemy, but they enabled that war effort and enabled victory throughout that longest battle of World War II. And today we continue that tradition.
Respect.
From there, the aircraft carrier evolved, growing in size and strength.
Wow.
Nuclear power plants gave them global range, while the advent of steam-powered catapults let them launch heavier fighters. Aircraft carriers were soon a common sight in Allied navies, including France and the United Kingdom, with a strike group of warships accompanying them. These ships...
I said again, I still find it amazing how they literally have a war team go with them. It must be so... If you were the enemy, seeing this group coming towards you, you'd be like, oh my god, there's a lot of firepower coming our way.
Ships carry powerful weapons of their own, but their main mission is to defend the carrier against attack. Protected by this ring of steel, the carrier can sail almost anywhere.
If I had to capture what a carrier strike group is, I would describe it simply as the centerpiece of power projection. We operate self-sustained, independent, and can go anywhere globally to wherever we need to go at the drop of a hat.
Commissioned in 2017, the USS Gerald R. Ford is the first ship in a brand new class, and, according to the U.S. Navy, the most technologically advanced carrier to ever set sail. But what makes it different from what came before?
It's nuclear powered. I'm sorry, that in itself blows my mind. You have a nuclear powered ship near enough unlimited range crossing the ocean. That in itself is mad.
Propulsion plant is all new electrical distribution system. Smaller crew, intended for less maintenance. We're excited about the new technologies that Ford brings to the table. The most prominent ones are the electromagnetic aircraft launch system and the advanced arresting gear.
Most aircraft carriers launch jets off their flight decks with catapults powered by steam. but you won't see any hot air coming off the Ford's flight deck. This
Oh.
ship uses an electromagnetic launch system to get its jets airborne.
Wow.
When it comes to
Okay.
these new catapults, there's more than meets the eye.
We can shoot aircraft at a wider range in terms of weight, and we anticipate using more unmanned vehicles in the coming years. Those might be lighter than the strike fighters that we're shooting right now. And
Obviously, by now, at the time that this video came out, you would have saw me do a reaction to the Valkyrie drone. Imagine having an aircraft carrier full of those drones, powered by AI, getting sent off this, like, multiple, one after the other. You've then got a line of weaponry. That's crazy.
we anticipate less stress on those aircraft, less lifetime cost on the aircraft.
But when it comes down to it, the most important thing on an aircraft carrier is the aircraft.
Very true.
Embarked on the Ford is Carrier Air Wing 8, which includes approximately 60 aircraft. From strike
Wow.
fighters to surveillance aircraft and helicopters, each airframe has a role.
You can almost think of it like a football team. You have layers of defense. You also have layers of offense. They all have to work together in order for that play to succeed.
The comms
While a fully
involved
loaded
must be
flight deck
crazy.
is certainly impressive, those planes can't fly without pilots.
It's like Top Gun.
Far from the cocky aviators of Top Gun fame,
There you go.
today's fighter pilots embrace a different mindset.
We definitely subscribe to a bit of a work hard, play hard mentality, but really what we end up looking for is somebody who is humble, credible, and approachable.
The naval aviators of strike fighters
Yeah, I completely agree. Having approachable pilots is massive. Like, I remember going and speaking to a pilot up at Lossiemouth, being like, "This might sound like a really stupid question, but no, there's no such thing as stupid questions. How can you hear anything in that jet? Because when it flies above us, we struggle to hear anything. They're in the plane next to the engine. How do they hear anything? They're like, well, we have this headset in ear, over ear, and then also some people have white noise getting pumped into the cockpit, so all they can hear is what's going on in their like headsets." I was like, okay, that's amazing. He was like, there you go, answer the question, and just walked off. That was it. It's mad.
Squadron 37, the Raging Bulls, trained to fly everything from bombing raids to combat air patrols to acting as flying gas stations for other fighters. What does an ordinary day look like in this less than ordinary job?
About an hour prior to your takeoff, you're going to go get kitted up, get all your flight gear on, and then it's
Get
time to go
checked
up to the
over.
flight deck. So the flight deck is always a very dynamic and quite dangerous place, so you kind of have to be strategic.
Yeah, 'cause if one of them starts going, you're
Once
in the
you're
way.
airplane, a whole bunch of checks to do between your systems and the ship. It's a whole lot of work leading up to that catch shot, which is the moment that you've been waiting for.
Oh my god, the adrenaline that goes through your system must
The
be
defining trait of naval
Huge.
aviator is the ability to land on a small, floating runway in the middle of a very large and very unforgiving sea. To accomplish this feat, the Hornets
I swear it was about, I think it was 2 years ago, we had a plane go off the end of the carrier straight into the ocean, I believe, in the Caribbean. Can someone confirm that for me? I think I'm right there. It fell into the ocean.
use a tailhook to snag a thick steel cable, bringing 20 tons of metal to a dead stop in a matter of seconds.
Landing on an aircraft carrier is definitely difficult. It's challenging. We've got a whole lot of technology helping us do it. In the moments leading up to touching down on the aircraft carrier, really kind of fine-tuning those corrections to make sure that you're on the optimal glide path just prior to
I'm sorry, but as a
There might
pilot,
used to be panic and
you
uncertainty.
must be
That's what you do all the
petrified.
training for, to get all of those moments out of the way.
It doesn't matter how much training you have, every time you land there, you must think, if I went slightly too fast or slightly too high when landing, I'm just going to fall off the end of this. Like, try and pray and hopefully not fall off the end of this boat.
It's been several days since the Ford set off from Halifax. Its sailors have settled into the groove of daily operations. With more than 4,000 sailors aboard, the Ford isn't just a ship. It's an office, a dinner table, a gym,
So
a
everything.
home. A ship this big can burn through supplies at an alarming rate. To top off its stocks, the Ford must conduct replenishments at sea, a complicated operation where pulleys and helicopters ferry across everything from jet fuel to air-to-air missiles to mail from home. The journey, referred to by sailors as an underway, can be long and routine.
People underestimate the power of a letter. Like instant morale, having a letter from home. Well, it hits a certain way in your soul.
Can lead to tedium, but the mission is more than worth the effort.
Being at sea for a long period of time, it does get a little stressful sometimes. You have to find ways to be able to relieve stress, whether that be going to the gym, decompressing, having conversations with other people and friends. We have to make that camaraderie and be able to.
Yeah, you need to be able to entertain yourself as well as be entertaining in a group.
The Ford has crossed the Atlantic to arrive off the shores of Portugal.
Lovely weather.
Sailing alongside it are ships from 6 NATO allies. Their job is to keep the carrier safe and to provide extra firepower in the simulated battles that will test the carrier strike group's combat readiness. It's been a long trip, but now it's time to hit the throttles and see what the world's largest warship can do.
Here we go, baby. Oh, must make you feel sick.
As jets launch on training missions that simulate air interceptions, surface strikes, and anti-submarine warfare.
We're here to conduct high-level maritime operations across the spectrum. We're here to showcase the Gerald R. Ford and then integrate allies and partners.
No nation can truly stand on their own. We are stronger as an alliance.
Very true.
And so working together allows us to create...
Especially because, you know, there's countries like Russia who have a habit of just putting Russian warships, you know, like in the English Channel or above the North Sea. They just like to have a little show of force. But imagine if this Gerald R. Ford rocked up and as they didn't expect it and be like, they have a lot of firepower. Let's turn this boat around and go back to Russia.
Those frameworks and through exercises truly be able to work in partnership with each other whenever we need to.
As the exercise nears its end, and the Ford prepares to conclude its journey in Portsmouth, England, the flight deck turns emotional as several of the ship's naval aviators share a bittersweet milestone: the last carrier landings in their naval careers.
Certainly, we're all going to have to stop doing this one day. We're always going to miss the flying for sure, every single one of us, but we're really, it's going to be about missing the people. The other pilots that I fly with, the leadership that we are under, the 18, 19-year-old sailor who's working on the aircraft, who we trust our lives with. It's really a symphony of literally thousands of dedicated people working together towards one common goal. To be part of that is, on a personal level, is very special.
For these aviators, the journey...
That last flight must be so surreal. Also, you're literally going to be taking in the last of these views for the final time. The next time, in reality, you're going to be in a plane is if you're going on holiday. You're not going to be flying fighter jets anymore if you get to retirement age.
The journey is over. But for the USS Gerald R. Ford, it's just beginning.
You'd be lucky you might be able to,
Just
you know,
minutes after
get yourself your little
the Ford
mini plane
returns to
license.
European waters for a full tour of duty, coming under direct NATO command for the first time.
Afterburners.
With unmatched range and power, the Ford now leads Allied navies in the crucial task of deterring aggression and, if necessary, defending NATO against external threats.
Very true.
In these uncertain times, the world's largest warship is on watch in Europe and on guard.
Ready to go. There we go. NATO Otten. That in itself looks crazy. I'm not sure. I need someone to put in the comments how long it would take for that to get from obviously Canada to Portsmouth. Because I'm thinking it will still take a long time, especially when you've got to stay in contact constantly with all the other boats around you, the different planes in the sky. It must have taken so much planning and preparation to be able to get that working correctly without having any issues. In itself it's madness. But obviously there's a lot of different things going on in the world at the minute, so having the USS Gerald R. Ford, the world's biggest warship in European waters, is a massive bonus to us guys. So shout out to the Americans for making something so insane. But it has been King Sloth. Hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.